Ho, ho, ho! I wasn't going to end this year out without reviewing a Christmas comedy, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which came out in 1989, and Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo reprise their roles. So does Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie. The film centers around Clark Griswold, who is wondering when his Christmas bonus is coming in, and he has relatives coming in, his parents, Ellen's parents, and aunts and uncles also. And you're wondering what could go wrong. Well, this is a vacation movie, so that question pretty much answers itself. And also, Cousin Eddie comes in, which I did like because he doesn't really just kind of show up. He's just kind of there, which makes it more and more funny. Is this movie good? Well, it's not as good as the first vacation movie. I mean, that's going to be very hard to top. Much as the others did try. I mean, the first vacation movie is very well a comedy classic. This movie does. I like the way this movie does try. There are moments where it does make nods to the first vacation movie. It does try to rehash a few moments from the first vacation movie, but other than that, this movie does kind of stand on its own. Siskel and Ebert didn't like this movie because one reason the Griswolds go nowhere, they stay home. Well, that's their opinion, of course, but I like the idea this film doesn't try to repeat the same shtick of the first two vacation movies. It tries to stand on its own, even proving even when the Griswolds stay home, disaster still strikes. So it's obvious proof this Murphy's Law just seems to follow the Griswolds everywhere. Chevy Chase once again delivers a fun, insane performance as Clark Griswold. I mean, what we did like about him is that he's a very relatable character. That you see he loves his wife, but at times he's very tempted to cheat on her. And he loves his kids, but for the most part he really wants to strangle them. Yeah, that Chevy Chase does play it in a very funny, relatable way, and he and Beverly D'Angelo really do play off each other perfectly. I mean, if she was replaced by another actress, I don't think the series would have kept on, because they just they have this unique comic timing with each other. I mean, they seem to make each other's performances better. And you also do notice that a young Johnny Galecki from The Big Bang Theory plays Russell Griswold. I'm sure you'll know that by now, but I thought I'd point it out. And also a then unknown Juliette Lewis is here. And Randy Quaid is Cousin Eddie. I think Randy Quaid stated that he liked playing Cousin Eddie in the first vacation movie, but what he didn't like is that the part was so small. And well, he gets his wish here. He always has these funny quirks that he says. I mean, it gets to the point where you're wondering where any of his lines actually improvised, because he says it with such comedic conviction. And I like the idea that the Cousin Eddie character never thinks he does anything wrong. He thinks he does everything perfectly. I mean, he never thinks he makes any mistakes. And don't get me wrong, he is a nice character, but that's just a fun way to watch. He's just a lovable dimwit who's in his own little world. But Cousin Eddie did get his own Christmas Vacation movie. I didn't see much of Vegas Vacation. I did see 2015's Vacation, and the only good thing about that film is that even though the parts weren't very big, that Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo do reprise their roles as Clark and Ellen Griswold. That was the only good thing about that movie. Here, the comedy is all timed perfectly, and the insanity of it is what makes this movie fun. It really does. I mean, they're thinking, what vacation is left? They're thinking, oh, how about Christmas? So Christmas really serves well in the story. I don't know if it's a comedy classic you can enjoy for year and year round, but it's one you can always have fun watching. So I give National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation a 9 out of 10. Have a Merry Christmas!